The balance of a commonwealth that is equal is of such nature that whatever falleth into her empire must fall equally, and if the whole earth fall into your scales, it must fall equally. And so you may be a greater people, and yet not swerve from your principles one hair. Nay, you will be so far from that you must bring the world in such a case unto your balance, even unto the balance of justice. But hearken, my lords, are we on earth? Do we see the sun? Or are we visiting those shady places which are feigned by the poets? Continuo audita voces vagitus et igens. These Gothic empires that are yet in the world were at the first, though they had legs of their own, but an heavy and unwieldy burden. But their foundations being now broken, the iron of them entereth even into the souls of the oppressed, and hear the voice of their comforters. My father hath chastised you with whips, but I will chastise you with scorpions. Hearken, I say, if thy brother cry unto thee in affliction, wilt thou not hear him? This is a commonwealth of the fabric that hath an open ear and a public concernment. She is not made for herself only, but given as a magistrate of God unto mankind, for the vindication of common right and the law of nature. Wherefore saith Cicero of the like, that of the Romans, nos magis patronatum orbis terrarum suscepimus quam imperium. We have rather undertaken the patronage than the empire of the world. If you, not regarding this example, like some other nations that are upon the point to smart for it, shall, having attained unto your own liberty, bear the sword of your common magistracy in vain, sit still and fold your arms. For which is worse, let out the blood of your people unto tyrants, to be shed in the defense of their yokes like water, and so not only turn the grace of God into wantonness, but his justice into wormwood. You are not now making a commonwealth, but heaping coals of fire upon your own heads. A commonwealth, I say, of this make is a minister of God upon earth, to the end that the world may be governed with righteousness. For which cause, that I may come at length unto our present business, the orders last rehearsed are buds of empire, such as, with the blessing of God, may spread the arms of your commonwealth like an holy asylum unto the distressed world, and give the earth her Sabbath of years or rest from her labors, under the shadow of your wings. It is upon this point where the writings of Machiavel, having for the rest excelled all other authors, come as far to excel themselves. Commonwealths, saith he, have had three ways of propagating themselves. One, after the manner of monarchies, by imposing the yoke, which was the way of Athens, and towards the latter times of Lacedaemon. Another, by equal leagues, which is the way of Swiss. I shall add of Holland, though, since his time. A third, by unequal leagues, which, to the shame of the world, was never practiced, nay, not so much as seen or minded by any other commonwealth, but that only of Rome. They will each of them, either for caution or imitation, be worthy to be well weighed, which is the proper work of this place. Athens and Lacedaemon have been the occasion of great scandal to the world in two, or at least one or two regards. The first, their emulation, which involved Greece in perpetual wars. The second, their way of propagation, which by imposing yokes upon others was plainly contradictory to their own principles. For the first governments, be they of what kind soever, if they be planted too close are like trees that, impatient in their growth to have it hindered, eat out one another. It was not unknown unto these in contemplation, or if you read the story of Aegisthus in action, that either of them with 30,000 men might have mastered the East, and certainly, if the one had not stood in the other's light, Alexander had come too late to that end, which was the means, and would be, if they were to live again, of ruin at the least unto one of them. Wherefore, with any man that understandeth the nature of government, this is excusable. So it was between Oceana and Marpesia. So it is between France and Spain, though less excusable. And so it ever will be in like cases. But to come unto the second occasion of scandal by them given, which was in the way of their propagation, it is not excusable, for they brought their confederates under bondage, by which means Athens gave occasion of the Peloponnesian War, the wound of which she died stinking, when Lacedaemon, taking the same infection from her carcass, soon followed. Wherefore, my lords, let these be warnings unto you, not to make that liberty which God hath given you a snare unto others, in using this kind of enlargement of yourselves. The second way of propagation or enlargement used by commonwealths is that of Swiss and Holland, equal leagues. This, though it be not otherwise mischievous, is useless to the world and dangerous unto themselves, unless unto the world. For as the former governments were storks, these are blocks, have no sense of honor or concernment in the sufferings of others, but as the Aetolians, a state of the like fabric, were reproached by Philip of Macedon prostrate themselves by letting out their arms unto the lusts of others, while they have their own liberty barren and without legitimate issue. I do not defame the people. The Swiss for valor have no superior, the Hollander for industry no equal, but themselves in the meantime shall so much the less excuse their government, seeing that unto the Swiss it is well enough known that the ensigns of his commonwealth have no other motto than In te converte manus, and that of the Hollander, though he sweat more gold than the Spaniard digs, lets him languish in debt, for she herself lives upon charity. These are dangerous unto themselves, precarious government, such as do not command, but beg their bread from province to province, coats that, being patched up of all colors, are of none, that their cantons and provinces are so many arrows is good, but they are so many bows too, which is not. Like unto these with the commonwealth of the ancient Tuscans, hung together like bobbins, without any hand to weave with them. Therefore easily overcome by the Romans, though at that time for number a far less considerable people. If your liberty be not a root that grows, it will be a branch that withers, which consideration brings me unto the paragon, the commonwealth of Rome.